mean, boxing isn't the normal sport. What was the most challenging thing to kind of get restarted?
I mean, the most challenging thing, you know, kind of was, I want to say spawn, you know, getting back in the spawn and things of that nature. Because, you know, you know, before the pandemic, you know, we would spawn almost, you know, every other day, you know, in the gym. But when the pandemic hit, it's like everything stopped. So we wasn't spawn. I had no, you know, no type of physical contact, you know, as far as boxing. And everything just came to a complete stop.
Got you. Now, were you keep in touch with Coach or any other? I know you guys train with a lot of other fighters and whatnot. Were you guys keeping in touch to talk, you know, kind of trade notes or anything? What was working, what wasn't working, or motivating each other?
Yeah. We always me and my coach, we always was talking. He'd call me every day just to check on me, or he'd tell me different things to do when I was in the house.
Got you. So besides boxing, man, how else have you been passing time? I mean, I know you guys, you know, you're still people, even though you're fighters. You know, how have you been passing your time going through this pandemic?
Man, you know, basically, I've just been spending a lot of time with my family and things of that nature. You know, just trying to stay humble, stay out the streets, things like that.
All right. Have you watched any of the other sports that have been coming back? The NBA, Major League Baseball, anything?
No, I haven't. And I'm a basketball fanatic. I ain't really been watching basketball because it's kind of phony right now because the bubble, because the crowd make basketball even better.
Got you. Okay. You know, I've had to break down and go on and accept it. It is a little bit weird, but I thought it was a couple of things that I thought were kind of positive for it. So, you know, they wanted Zion to get into the playoffs, and that didn't happen. So, you know, that was one thing that worked against it. Hey, before we jump into some of the you know, some of the boxing talk and whatnot, I just wanted to give you the opportunity. I don't know where you were with it, but, you know, we got a lot of stuff going on in the world, in the country, and you guys actually had a situation with this several years ago with the Freddie Gray thing. But did you have any thoughts on what's going on with the, you know, some of the protesting and the police brutality situation?
I mean, I think it's just, you know, it's just horrible. You know, who you supposed to call when somebody doing something bad to you? You can't call the police because now it's like the police killing you too. So, I mean, I guess people just handle it their own way now.
Right. Do you, as a boxer or an athlete, you know, do you feel obligated to speak out on this or use your platform or anything? I know right now I watch a lot of social media traffic, you know, chatter about boxing and whatnot. And it seems like it's a big expectation from fans for you guys to speak on this stuff. Do you feel that pressure, or, you know, do you just talk when you feel like talking about it?
Oh, well, no, I don't feel no pressure, but I'm going to speak on it regardless because, you know, I always, you know, ride through my neighborhood and see people out there, things of that nature. You know, I wouldn't want anything like that to happen to anybody that I know. So I'm definitely going to speak on it.
All right. Appreciate it. So let's get into it, man. You know, the last time, well, did you have anything in the works back in March? Did you have a fight that you were getting ready for or something that was being put together, or was it just normal training?
Well, no, we were just, stand ready, stand in camp for real, you know, so I won't have to be
trying to get ready.
Get back in shape for real. But only thing that was mainly wrong, you know, my kidneys and stuff. They was recovering. Okay.
All right. So the last time we saw you, then it was the Darwin Price fight on the undercard of Gervonta and Gamboa, I believe, right in Atlanta. So now you were down on the cards in that fight. You know, and then it came back in the 5th round. You were starting to come on a little bit. My man ran into some problems and had the leg injury and whatnot. Do you feel like you got to complete that moment for your growth and development?
Say it again. I couldn't because the phone was going in and out.
I'm sorry.
Say it again.
I was just saying, did you feel that you were down in that fight or lose or not in control of that fight? Where were you with that fight going into the 5th round?
I felt as though, with that fight, I felt as though I was coming on, but I was coming on late, and it just so happened in the 4th round going into the 5th round, I caught him and I hurt him, but the belt had saved him. So I felt as though let me get back to my old ways, and actually start back fighting like how I'm used to fighting, because I felt I wasn't allowed to be myself in that fight. I was trying to work on something else and try to fight a different way instead of being myself.
Okay. Now, do you feel like you were able to fully learn everything that you could learn as a fighter and a developing fighter? Do you think you took everything away from that situation?
Yeah. I definitely learned, a lot of things from that fight. Learn how to start early. Don't wait. And it's a lot of things I learned during that fight.
Got you. Now, Coach Kenny, were you in the corner of that fight as well?
Yes, sir. I was there.
So, what was your takeaways from what was going on and running and being a part of the corner and whatnot?
He was sticking with the game plan. He just didn't let his hands go as soon as he should have. But the game plan was to make Price overuse his legs, which he did, and start cutting down from the mid round towards the end of the fight. But we wasn't planning on going to 10 rounds anyway.
All right.
If his leg wouldn't have gave out, he still wouldn't have made 10 rounds because we was gonna get him. And it wasn't just the leg. Malik Iceman hit him with a right hand, and that's what started the problem. It just so happened he got an excuse now. He got a scapegoat. He used his leg as an excuse.
I agree with most of that. Was there any pressure? I know you were on TV and whatnot. It was a big night for your training mate and whatnot. Was it just some pressure that kind of got you off to the bad start?
No, it was just I felt as though it was no pressure. I just felt I wanted to get in there, put on such a good show for my fans and everything. All my family members that came down from Baltimore, things of that nature. I just wanted to get in there and put on a good show, and I was over anxious for real.
All right. Completely different situation coming up now. No fans, no crowd and whatnot. You get this kid, Subriel Matias. He had the unfortunate situation there at Oxon Hill with Dadashev passing away from the fight. Do you have any thoughts on that? When you go into this fight with him, do you have any concern, or not concerns, but do you have any thoughts about where he might be? I know he's had one fight since that, but do you have any? Do you give any thought to where he might be as a fighter after that experience?
No, not really, because a lot of people don't know that it was, the fighter that passed away in that fight. It was something wrong with him prior to that fight. It wasn't. But I'm not concerned about anything. We all fighters at the end of the day. We know what we're getting ourselves into.
All right. So you joined on this card with it's up top is Sergey Lipinets and the Abdukakhorov cat. And then you also have Xavier Martinez, who's a part of the Mayweather promotions with yourself, also on there. Do you feel like this is an opportunity for Malik Hawkins to steal the show?
Yeah, it's definitely a big opportunity, for me to get in there, showcase my skills and let the world know that I belong.
What's your assessment of Matthias? I mean, you got a good height advantage against him. He is a pressure guy, volume puncher and whatnot. But what's your take on it?
I feel as though he's going to try to come in there, try to be a bully or things of that nature. He doesn't really have any type of defense. But that's all I really see from him. For real, he's going to try to be a bully.
Got you, Coach Kenny. What's your thoughts on Matthias as an opponent?
He's game, but I don't think he got the height over it. And Malik, I think Malik can out Hawkins. Malik is bigger, stronger, faster, and Malik has faced better opponents. You know what I mean? Agreed.
Now, being that you guys have had this downtime and training has been what it is, getting prepared in these circumstances. Like I said, he is a volume guy. Any concerns about your gas tank later in the fight? Should it go into the 8th, 9th, 10th round?
Oh, our gas tank is overfull, man. We ready. We ready. You want to see Malik that you never seen before.
Now, has that been an issue, Malik? Or either one of y'all can answer. Has that been an issue with getting work in the gym, sparring? I know you guys got to be mindful of not trying to avoid, becoming infected with this COVID stuff. Has that hurt, the sparring partners that you've been able to get in work with?
No, we in a bubble. Everybody's sparring partner. Everybody's in a bubble. Can't nobody go nowhere.
Okay.
We good on that,
Okay.
Yeah, we got the sparring partners we need for the fight, and everybody's in the bubble.
Okay. So I saw on your Instagram page, man, I don't know if you were over in Philly or however it happened, but you were able to get in some time with Gervonta Davis. Was that some work that you got in lately?
Yeah. Actually, that was good work. That was real good work. That's the type of work that I needed. That was some work that people got to pay to see.
Now, Coach Kenny, were you able to join him in for that trip?
Yes, I was there. I was right by his side, as usual, It was a real good, clean, crispy sparring session between the two.
Now, I mean, Ennis is one of the, the up-and-coming, must-watch guys at 147. So, what's your takeaway from that experience, Malik?
You said what? Say it again?
I just said he's one of the hot fighters at welterweight. You're down, a division lower and whatnot. But what do you take away from that experience, of getting in that type of work with that type of fighter with how he's being projected to be?
Hey man, I took a lot of from that experience. I learned a bunch of new defensive tricks. I learned a lot, and I'm grateful, just to get in there and get to work with them.
All right. Was that just a one-day thing or a couple days? How long did you guys get to work?
We was up there for I think I was up there for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, damn. Okay. Have you? I know you said you haven't watched much, no basketball or anything, but have you been able to catch any of the fights since boxing has resumed?
Let's see. I've seen the Benavidez fight. I've seen that fight.
Okay. I was just wondering, knowing that you had a fight coming up, is there anything specific that you're looking for as you're watching this to see how guys react to the environment or anything of that nature?
No, not really. Not really. Only thing I know is that just because there's no crowd there, you still gotta get in there and do what you do. But to be honest, without the crowd, it's just like Spawn. Only thing is it's just real.
Now, did it take a while to kind of come to that conclusion, or was there some hopes when this fight was made that that there was some chance that crowds would be back or something, or is it just like you said, you got to do what you got to do?
It didn't take a while, because once I seen how when I seen the first fight and everything like that, I just, you know, I had a quick glance at it, you know, and once I seen how they was having the crowd, like, oh, there's no crowd and things of that nature, I'm like, oh, this is like fun.
Got you.
It's like fun, bro.
Now,
would you? I think it's just no crowd.
Now, would you be would you prefer no crowd, or are you okay with the crowd noise being pumped in? Do you have a preference between the two?
No, I don't really have a preference. You know, the crowd can be there. They can't. If they can't be there, it don't really matter. It don't affect my game plan.
All right. Like I said, as a member of well, let me come back for a minute, Coach Kenny. How are you approaching it? You know, working in this environment. Have you been watching any of the fights and seeing, you know, the communication from corner to the fighter as this is happening? You got any thoughts along those lines?
The only fights I've been watching is Subriel Matias. Getting ready for him. And as far as fighting with no crowd, we're doing the same exact thing if there's no people in the building. You know what I mean? A fighter will fight anywhere, anytime. He don't have to have nobody to pump him up. You know what I mean?
Hey.
We won't get down. We fight in the middle of the street. We won't fight in the middle of the street.
That's what I want to hear.
You know what I mean? If we out in the ocean on the ship, we gonna fight in the ocean on the ship. So, you know, we won't get down no matter what.
Got you. Understood. Malik, you know, being a part of, I guess, you know, has there been any communication from Mayweather Promotions to you throughout this time, you know, to check in with your preparation, or if you had any financial concerns during this? Have you been able to turn to them or have you needed to?
Actually, I haven't needed, you know, to turn to them, you know, for you know, financial situations and things of that nature. But they always call, you know, just to check on, you know, make see how I'm doing and things of that nature.
Okay. How much heads up time did you get for this fight? How many weeks of preparation? About 10 weeks. Oh, okay. Any concerns on weight then? I mean, you mentioned the Benavidez fight. He lost he lost his title on the scale. Is the weight going all right?
Yeah, my weight looking good. Yeah, everything good. Everything coming along great.
Now, how do you think this fight benefits you, man? I see right now Matthias is number 10 for the IBF. So, you know, if you are fortunate enough to get this victory and whatnot, October 10th, I believe it is, you know, what do you think this does for you in the division?
You know, it just puts me in a better position, you know, to move on to bigger and better things, you know, bigger fights, you know, better opposition, you know, better just better opportunities. Got you.
Now, as a Mayweather Promotions fighter, we saw Angelo Leo come back on the first Showtime show and actually become a world champion. Just as a member, you know, of Mayweather Promotions, what was your reaction to seeing how he was steered towards that, and then with him being able to realize that dream of becoming a world champion? What was your reaction to that?
I mean, I was happy. You know, I was definitely happy for him. You know, just to see him, you know, accomplish one of his goals. You know, but that's just definitely more motivation for me.
Does that create more confidence? You know, that your promoter is able to position you guys and get you guys that opportunity, you know, to fulfill that dream.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Gotcha. So, you know, I see Gervonta, you know, you guys usually train there in Baltimore and whatnot. You know, Coach Calvin Ford is also out there. Under normal circumstances, would you have tried to have, or would you have joined those guys out there, or was there anything behind?
Yeah, I definitely would have joined. Me and Kenny, we definitely would have been out there.
Gotcha. Do you feel I've seen quite a few names and guys in the gym getting, you know, one-on-one time and training, running, doing, you know, getting in some road work with Mayweather and whatnot. You feel any kind of way about missing out on that type of mentorship, or just being around the group of guys?
No, not really, because it's not like I've never talked to Floyd and things of that nature. I don't feel no type of way about it.
Got you. Coach Kenny, any thoughts on your side? What's been new for you in leading the camp? Probably more hands-on than normal. What's been the big change for you?
Oh man, he isolated and it's one-on-one, and he's taking it in just all by himself. He's taking it in more. He hears more because it's just us in the gym.
Gotcha.
And every move I make, he makes. We standing over the top of his strength trainer, me, and a couple other coaches. It's like he can't get away from us,
Gotcha.
This fight coming up, you're going to see a different Malik, Iceman.
All right. Have you had to reach out to Coach Calvin for any, just for any?
Yeah, we FaceTime every other night. He check on us and we check on him. Make sure that he's doing good over there and we doing good over here.
Got you. Any concerns, Malik, about, going into such a meaningful fight? Usually, Coach Ford is kind of leading the way. Any concerns on your end with Kenny running the show?
No. Kenny been my coach since I was a kid, since I first started boxing. So no.
Got you. All right. Only a couple more questions. Looking beyond this, like you said, this positions you a win here. I would imagine, get you up into those, starts to either get you up there or starts to get you up there in that top 15. At this particular moment, as super lightweight, we know who the champions are, and it seems like the planning is already for those guys to meet up with one another. So, kind of, what's your outlook, in terms of chasing down those big fights and the meaningful fights, the bigger paydays? What's your outlook on the division?
My outlook on the division is just that, I'm the big bully. And, I just, I got to get in there and just show it.
Any concerns about the business getting in the way, of the final goals of becoming a world champion?
No, because, I got the best promoter in the game behind me, so no.
Understood. Now, like I said, 140 in my opinion is one of the most loaded divisions in the game, and it's a possibility that a lot of the guys up at the top could be moving on if they do have that undisputed fight. Some of those two guys could possibly move up to welterweight, and maybe that's how the belts become open, or they're vacated or whatever it is. But do you also feel some pressure from the other big names below you that are likely to be up at super lightweight in the next year or so? A Haney, Teofimo.
No. If they come up in my division, they got to deal with it. If they don't. But if they do, they got to deal with it.
Got you. Is there any you get past this fight, man? I mean, is there any ideal matchup for you, or anything, anything to get you from the next point to arriving at that contender level? Is there any names out there that you got in mind, or you just leaving that up to the team?
I just leave it up to the team, for real. Of course, at the end of the day, I got the final say so and things of that nature. But, majority of the time, I just leave it up to my team. I know they're not going to put me in a fight where they don't think I'm ready.
Got you. Coach Kenny, you mentioned, strength and conditioning coach. You mentioned some that to expect for us to see a different Malik Hawkins. What's one thing for us to watch out for?
His jab, his defense, and his strength.
Got you. All right, man. Well, I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer, man. Just any final words? Like I said, October 10th against Subriel Matias.
Listen, tune in October the 10th, man. It's gonna be a hell of a show. You don't want to miss it.
Got you. When y'all leaving out to get up to Uncasville, up in Connecticut?
Well, we gonna stay here for the whole month of September. Then maybe like the first week of October, we gonna go to another bubble.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, just very last question. Have they given you any idea? I know one of the things with Showtime coming along, they've been able to learn to have backup plans and whatnot in case of any positive tests. Have they communicated that to you guys, that it could be a different opponent on fight night?
No, we haven't heard anything, of that nature. But if that's the case, we'd be prepared for that as well.
Okay.
At 140, I don't see nobody giving us a problem.
All right. I know the one kid from your area was able to had to come in and get the late replacement. I think Bates.
No, he's from D.C.
Oh, D.C. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we from Baltimore.
Got you. I just meant from the DMV. My bad.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
Hey, well, hey man, I appreciate you guys' time.
Hey man, we appreciate you having us on.
All right. Like I said, I'll get this out to my contact for you guys, and best of luck, man. Best of luck the last few weeks of training, and I'm looking forward to you having a great night, man.
Hey man, thank you.
Take care.
All right.